Alright guys, so it's the end of the day. You can see we were a little bit short on gravel, but I had a feeling we were going to be short on it. So we're going to get some more gravel delivered in 2 days, and then the day after we're going to finish off bagging it and filling it so it's level with the rest, this last corner here. I'll talk about the slab. So you can see we're pretty elevated right now. The reason why these forms are so tall is because, you know, our land is sloping downhill, first off. But also on that far corner over there, we're still maybe 14 to 16 inches, the forms are, above the ground. The reason why is because our plans call for a 27-inch minimum depth for the slab beam. So that's a pretty thick beam, and you can see we're 2 feet wide. So this is a very substantial beam for a house. Typically, this is not how you would, this is not how a normal slab would look. But what's going to happen is, so let's walk over here. I can show you what it looks like on the inside. So we have, there's a perimeter beam, like I was saying earlier in this video, and then we have these middle beams here. So we have a beam that's going down the center. That's about 20. I can't remember what exactly it is. It's about 20 inches thick, maybe 27. I have to measure it. It doesn't look like it's quite 27 inches. So I have to look at my plans. But we have one going down the center, and then we have 2 beams that are intersecting. There's going to be these beams are going to have rebar, and they're going to be all tied off. We're using in the exterior beam, we're using number 6 rebar, which is very beefy. I probably think it's a little bit over engineered, but we're just following the plans from the engineer. So we're using number 6 rebar in the exterior beam. And then I can't remember what we're using in the middle, maybe 1/2 inch or something, 5/8. So over here, I'll talk about kind of what the situation is. So I was hoping to show this earlier in the video, walking through the plumbing and how I have everything laid out. I didn't have time to do that because we were on such a tight schedule that basically I finished the far corner where the master bathroom is while they were filling this in. So I was down to the wire, and I didn't have any time to walk through the plumbing. But we can now. So this section here, this is going to be the guest/kids bathroom. So this is the drain. I was just pouring water down. This is the toilet drain. I was just making sure because, you never know if they hit a pipe when they're digging or something. That usually doesn't happen, but if they do, and the pipe gets cracked or something like that, it's a big job to dig it up. So I poured it down the main, watered down the main 3-inch line, made sure it was draining out good on the other end, which it is. And then I'll probably go through and pour water down these other ones as well. So the layout of this bathroom, so let me talk about what's happening here. We have a sink drain, and we have a vent. So as I was saying before, I think in the first video we made, you can't plumb anything in the walls because where I'm standing is going to be solid stone. Normally what would happen is you have your sink your sink or vanity would be here. It would come down, there'd be a P-trap, and it'd just go into the drain. And then you'd have a vent that goes up into your ceiling. We can't do that in this because these walls are all stone. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be like the sink drain, and this is the vent actually. And what this does is this vent, it's going to come up, it's going to loop back around. The vent's going to go back down into the slab. And if you look over here, there's a pipe that goes through the beam here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this pipe in foam, because what happens is when you have these really thick beams, you want to wrap your pipe, because if the beam ever moves or something cracks or, settles or whatever, you don't want to be putting all that extra pressure on your pipe. So these are going to be wrapped in foam. This goes over, and this is the vent pipe for the sink as well as the shower. / bathtub insert right here. So this is going to go up, and this is going to be the wall of the bathroom. So this kind of gives you an idea of how big the great room is going to be. This pipe is where the wall is, and then that pipe over there is where the wall is for the master bathroom. So this whole space in here is going to be a big great room, which is going to be really nice. Over here, these are going to be the kitchen sink. So it's the same situation as before. There's a drain pipe and a vent pipe. So the vent loops back down around into the slab. It comes all the way down to here. So we have a drain pipe, we have a vent pipe, sorry, a 2-inch vent. We have our, this is a drain pipe, so the kitchen sinks comes down through here, connects underneath to this drain pipe. This is gonna be the wall of the, this is the back side of the laundry room. So this is the drain pipe for the laundry machine, and then we have the main water line coming into the house, which is this 1-inch pipe here. This is the master bathroom toilet, and this is the shower. So you can see here they have this kind of inset a little bit. Really the wall is going to be here, but this whole section here is going to be the master shower, the shower in the master bathroom. So for those who don't know why this is recessed, is because when you do a walk-in shower, you need room for your pan. So you recess your pan, so it's a seamless transition between your floor and your shower. So that's why this is recessed here. Then, so what's happening is where I'm standing is going to be the shower. This whole section all the way down past here is the master bathroom. It's kind of a long, slender master bathroom, but this is the pipe for the master bathroom sink. And notice there's no vent pipe for this one because this is on an interior wall. So I didn't have to do some weird thing where I loop back around. I can just go up into the wall and connect over to the vent on that side over there. So I'll talk about the rocks real fast. So when I did the rough-in plumbing, I tried to dig it by hand. It was way too hard. Every time my digging bar went into the ground, I hit a rock. So I ran and got a ditch witch, and I did all the trenches. And even that was really difficult because I had my plumbing plans, had all these nice straight lines for the drains, but as I was trenching, I hit just massive rock shelves where, I mean, it was just limestone, down, just solid limestone, and I would find the edge of it and run along it. I mean, and there were pieces of limestone that were so big that you couldn't see the end of them. They went who knows how long. We're standing on a big one right now, so you can see like this beam here, they couldn't get this up. This whole thing I'm standing on is one big boulder. When I was trenching, it just so happened that basically my toilet and the kids' bathroom, all that, this was underneath it. So I had to get stuff like this out of the ground. So I prodded it with my crowbar, got a strap under some corners of it and ripped it out of the ground with my truck. But you can see, if you look along here, all these rocks, well, not these two, these were already here, but all these rocks, that just came out of where they dug the beam. So it was a tedious project trying to find the right path to trench all my drains. Another big one right here, just solid rock. And if we look down here, we see the beam also steps down. This is also a really large boulder here. So all this along here, if you look at the ground, this whole thing, if you look at it, it's solid limestone. It's just, so we don't have to worry about the house sinking because it's built on solid rock. But anyway, this goes back to what I was saying in the first episode, which was limestone, because it's an abundant element in this area, it's a cheap building material, but it makes doing stuff like this extremely difficult. So here's another example of the rock we're dealing with. If you look here, it's solid limestone, and if you look on the side of this beam, it's solid limestone. And this is the kind of stuff I was running into in the middle of the slab when I was running my drains. Now you cannot get a ditch witch through this, at least easily. So you can see when you run into this stuff, it's really hard to plumb because this right here is ground level. So I remember in the first video I said you go down a few inches and you hit solid limestone. This is exactly what I'm talking about. These forms were sitting...
1 inch, right?
Yeah, this is probably 1 or 2 inches. These forms are sitting right on top of the ground. And you can see, if you were trying to trench here for drains or something, it'd be a no-go. So this is the thickest part of our beam. You guys can see that this is like very, this is crazy. And this is the main line coming out, our 3-inch drain. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're making good progress. This is, I think, week 2 of our build. So I feel like we've made a lot of good progress. I think in the next episode we'll be talking about rebar and plumbing. I'll just mention right now, all the plumbing in this house is going to be PEX. We're going to lay the rebar down. I'm going to put in all the PEX water lines, and something that is going to be really cool is we are going to be doing radiant floors. So we're going to have, in the wintertime, we'll be able to heat our slab. So the whole area of the house is going to be PEX line going back and forth, spaced 12 inches apart. And there's going to be multiple runs of it. And what happens is for a radiant slab is you have a heat pump and you have a hot water heater and you pump hot water through your slab in multiple loops. And in the wintertime, it warms up your slab, which is really nice. So I'll be talking about that in the next episode. But yeah, I hope you guys found this interesting, and stay tuned for the next episode.
Now Brett's going to test to see if our drains still drain. Okay, go ahead. And I'm going to go check on it. Moment of truth. There it is, the water.